the cost of living crisis actually over? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig in and see if those good news headlines are really telling us the whole story. You've probably heard this everywhere. The main inflation number, the one that gets all the attention, has dropped. And because of that, a lot of people are quick to say, victory, it's all sorted. And look, on the surface, it's definitely good news. But is it the full story? All right, let's get right into it because this question, this is everything. It really gets to the heart of this huge disconnect so many of us are feeling, right? Why does the official data feel so different from our actual day-to-day experience? It's the reason that despite all the positive headlines, our wallets are still feeling a serious squeeze. To get to the real answer, we've got to pop the hood on the economy. We need to look right past that single headline number. And what we find underneath, well, it reveals a much more complicated and frankly, a much more stubborn picture. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. We're looking at two different numbers here. You've got headline inflation. That's the one you always hear about. It includes volatile stuff like food and energy prices. Then you have core inflation, which strips all that out to find the real underlying trend. The fact that these two numbers are so close now tells us something absolutely crucial. The problem isn't just about global shocks anymore. It's become baked right into our own domestic economy. And this slide just illustrates that split perfectly. Look at this, the price of goods, actual stuff you can buy in a shop, that's slowing down. And that's mainly because global supply chains are finally getting back to normal. But the cost of services, things like getting a haircut, going out for a meal, your train ticket, that is still running incredibly hot. So here's the key takeaway. This sticky services inflation is the real engine keeping our costs high. And it makes sense when you think about it, right? Services are mostly people's time and labor. Their prices are tied directly to UK wages. And since wages are still rising, it's way harder for the Bank of England to control that, compared to, say, the price of a TV shipped from the other side of the world. Okay, so let's move on and see how all this actually translates into the costs that are causing the most pain for households right now. This is where that headline number really starts to feel completely disconnected from our reality. I mean, this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? The two things you absolutely cannot avoid paying for, food on the table and a roof over your head, their prices are going up way faster than that official 3.6% average. So when your most essential, non-negotiable costs are rising this fast, it sure doesn't feel like inflation is sorted. Not at all.